Okay, everybody, this is Henry Vigeant from Gilmanton, New Hampshire. Welcome. Tonight, we're going to be talking to you about this incredible opportunity with iHub Global, where you can actually earn cryptocurrency by plugging in a box. And we're going to go through all those details this evening with my host and great friend, John Cini out of Houston, Texas. He and I have been doing business for over a decade now. It's quite remarkable to say that. First of all, to have a friend that long is always a blessing, but to have a good, close business partner is even better. So John's going to take you through the slide deck tonight. And after that, I'm going to kind of tell my story. And then from there, we're going to answer any questions you might have. So John, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that, Henry. And yeah, it's true what Henry said. We were united in business with common goals and dreams, but we have, it's almost like he's a brother to me, and we've been working very closely on this, talking every day for the last 4.5 months. We were really just kind of blown away when we saw this at first, and boy, were we in the right place at the right time. So Henry's been working his tail off relentlessly to build this, and I've been trying to keep up with him, but he sets an amazing pace. One of the hardest workers that I've ever met, and proud to be in business with him. And y'all are in the right place at the right time for sure. So let's go. What do Google, I'm starting off with a trivia question for you. What do Google, Nestle, Salesforce, and Lime all have in common? You probably recognize at least 2 or 3 of these companies, but they're all connected with Helium somehow, and you're going to see how they're connected here. Actually, these 3 companies are paying Helium to use their network right now. And Google Ventures is a big venture capital company, and they are funding the Helium enterprise. So you'll hear more about that here in a little bit. But we're talking about the People's Network, which is a paradigm shift for connecting to the wireless world. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to give you a quick overview on a legitimate long-term business where our product is data transmission. If you want to compare that to cell towers, it's a great analogy. We're going to give you specifics on the device and how it produces income and how that income can actually multiply by itself. That's kind of exciting. And we'll talk about how much market share there is and how you can grab some of that market share and how you can earn by building this Helium network, and how much you can make on a device in your own home or office. And if you go help 100 friends put devices in their homes or office, how that can be a 6-figure income. We'll show you the big money behind Helium. We'll show you a bunch of companies that are paying Helium right now. It's active and live. We'll talk about the Internet of Things and that market right there. And then we'll show you our marketing company and how you can join us. So we're going to cover all of that very quickly in the next short little 20 minutes. All right, we'll take a little bit longer than that, but we have an unprecedented chance to participate right here with this technology revolution. So kind of exciting. It is real, it's long-term, and it's necessary. You know, we talk about real, there's a lot of stuff out there where you scratch your head and say, you know, is this legit? This seems kind of shady. But this company that we're promoting has already been discussed many times in many major magazines like Fast Company, Forbes, Fortune, and a lot of these others that you can see right here. You can see them all on the Helium website, and it's helium.com. So easy to find, you go check out. But before you do that, let's go through this material so I can give you a bunch of other places to check and see things. But I'm going to turn the clock back now and pretend it's 1980, and you're just given the chance to own 100 cell towers. Can you imagine that? And then get paid for all the data that's transmitted over those cell towers. That's a cell tower right there. Everybody's familiar with that. We drive by them all the time on the highway. The cell communication, you know, the call is transmitted from one tower to the next, carries over. These things, if you had the chance to buy them, are very expensive, you know, to build a monster like that. And, oh, by the way, you also need to either own or lease the land that it's on. And that's a very common practice. But this is way expensive, and you have to deal with county commissioners and zoning regulations and federal taxes and federal regulations and on and on and on. And that is a very expensive problem. The other issue, back in the 80s, you wouldn't have spent the money on that, right? If you did, then you wouldn't be on this call, because you'd be retired. The people that did that had a lot of extra money to risk, because back then no one knew that everyone on the planet was going to have a cell phone. Today it's a no-brainer looking back, but back then it was not. However, with our setup here with Helium, where they're giving us a very similar setup, being able to go get cell towers in place and build a huge data transmission network, we know that this is going to fly. So we are in the right place at the right time, building the people's network, the world's fastest growing wireless private data transmission network ever, with more security at a fraction of the cost. So this is our little device right here. Fits in the palm of your hand, 4 or 5 inches. I mean, it's not very big. This is the CEO of Helium right here, Amir Helium, in Forbes magazine 10 months ago. He said, what if someone could stick a box in their window, turn it on, and become their own cell tower all of a sudden? I hope this starts a movement towards people realizing you could do this with open source programming without a big telco carrier. That would be AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, right? We don't need them for this setup right here. We're connecting machines, talking to machines, the Internet of Things, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that down the pike. But here's our little pig, as we lovingly like to call our passive income generator right there. Like I said, fit in the palm of your hand. It's a free device. What? How can that be? Yes, it's true. You can actually get one of these devices at no cost. You just have to cover the shipping and activation fee, and that's it. That's going to be around $50, maybe a little bit less than that. But you've got a user-friendly device that you plug into the power, electricity. You attach that little 8-inch antenna right there, or a nicer one if you want to get fancy and make more money, and then connect it to the internet. That's it. I hope everybody can do that, because that's your easy 3-step install with no affiliate fee, no auto ship, no monthly fees. You don't have to pay anything else on this thing. Well, how do you make money with that? Well, that's coming up. You literally get paid while you sleep all day, every day, and it's a needed service that we haven't even scratched the surface on this yet. Everything is going to start flowing, machines talking to machines, and they're going to need a huge network to put in place with no zoning or regulations to worry about, no maintenance. I mean, literally set it and forget it. And you don't have any attrition either. When someone gets a free box, what are they going to do? Quit? They're going to throw the box in the trash? No. They're going to put that thing to work and start making money on that. It's very simple. And hardly anybody's heard about this yet. I would say about 95% of the world has not heard about this. So we have a lot of growth to go through and a lot of people to talk to about this. You can go stand at the mall right now and say, hey, have you heard of Helium? And 950 out of 1,000 people are going to go, what? Helium? Yeah, and that stuff you put in a balloon. So how do you earn money here? Well, a host of a Helium hotspot earns money by building coverage, showing that they are connected to the network. That's step one. And then step two is transmitting data. That's what that says right there. And by the way, this is right off the helium.com website. The more data a hotspot transfers, the more it earns. So you probably want a lot of data flowing over your hotspot, right? So if you go to helium.com, you can see a lot more technical specs and how this actually works and pays out. I'm not going to cover all that stuff with you. You know why? Because it's way beyond my capability. And we don't need to know all that. That's the other thing. It's, it's all there. If you do want to go get it, great. It's all yours. But we're not going to talk about all that technical mumbo jumbo. But we do get paid in cryptocurrency. So this is not a crypto play or investment. This is just the reward. Just like if we got paid dollars or if we got paid in coupons to go to spend money at Walmart or something, or a gift card, Helium is paying the hosts of these hotspots in their cryptocurrency, Helium Network Token, which I refer to as Helium Coin. You can call it whatever you want. And then we can convert those H&Ts to dollars if you want to, or you can let it appreciate. But H&T is traded on many major crypto exchanges, and it's in the top 100. It's actually getting close to 50 by market cap. There's about $2 billion of H&T buying and selling every day, which is pretty amazing. So in fact, you can go to crypto.com and check it out right now. There it is right there, Helium H&T. At the time, this was back at the beginning of the month, so 3 weeks ago, you can see right there, it was at $21. it's up and down, as you can see. I mean, there's wild swings in it. But here's the crazy part. A year ago, June, that was at 25 cents. And then just actually this month, it got a little bit higher than that, but 25 cents to $25. I mean, hopefully you can see the trend and the direction that this is headed. I always tell people, I don't care where you get some of this, you know, whether it's crypto.com or Biloxi or Binance, whatever, as long as you get some. I was telling people back here, this was in May where it was like, you know, around $10. I said, go get some. And I warned everybody. And then, you know, went up 2.5 times. It's right now, it's 17 or 18 bucks. Go get some. You've been warned. So, by the way, back in June of last year, if you put $1,000 in the HNT, that would have got you 4,000 of those at 25 cents. Anybody want to guess what it would be right now? I mean, if you sold it at $25, that's pretty crazy. You can do the math on that. Even if it was half that, you know, if it was at $10, that'd still be 40,000 bucks. And that's a pretty good increase right there. So you've been warned. Now, this is right off of, again, helium.com. And you can see there the network is live and companies are paying Helium to use their service right there. And we're going to check this out, view network coverage in a minute. But look at this. Total hotspot. Would you believe we're adding 2,000 a day? And this was 3 days ago. So guess what? We just said 206,000 hotspots out there. And that number is going up every day. We need, by the way, if you think this is large, we need millions of these devices across the globe. And right now, there's 200,000 of them total across the globe. So you can say, I remember when there were only 200,000 of these devices, because when it's 2 million, that will look like a long time ago. But we are hurtling rapidly towards millions of these devices. You can go again and see that whole network just by clicking on that view the network. And this is it. I mean, when you look at the USA, you look at Europe, you know, there's a bunch of hotspots. This might look like, you know, they're all over the place, but they're actually not. We need tons more. They just glow and they look a lot bigger than they are on this map. But you can zoom in on helium.com, on Explore the Network. You can literally zoom in on your city. Like here's Houston right here. And, you know, here's New York somewhere in there, and there's LA. But you can go zoom in on those areas and see where there is. You can enter your own address. You can see everything around you. Everything on here is totally transparent. And that's one more reason why I love this setup. So again, back to the CEO of Helium, he said on his blog 5 months ago, there at the end of April, almost 5 months to the day, the current Helium network is well on its way to becoming the largest and fastest growing global network with a forecast for over 600,000 hotspots by the end of 2022. I looked at that and I said, I think we're going to be way past that. I think we might even be double that by the end of next year. So here we go. It's going to be a lot of fun because, you know, we're already at 200,000. I mean, we actually just doubled from 100,000 to 200,000 in the last 2 months. So we are definitely, if we double again in the next 2 months, but even if it takes us another year to double, we're going to be way past his forecast right there. It's kind of funny. But check this out. When Henry and I first looked at Helium back in the middle of May, which was 4.5 months ago, there were less than 38,000 hotspots. So from the time they launched, the first hotspot that was turned on in August of 2019 to May of this year, 20 months, almost 2 years, they added 38,000. And then look what they just did. In the last 4.5 months, they added 170,000 of these devices. I mean, just incredible growth. So we are definitely in the right place at the right time. Adding 50,000 a month. We're almost at 60,000 a month. Soon it'll be 80, then it'll be 100,000 a month. I mean, you see what's going on here. I hope you do. That is opportunity knocking for us. And we're really excited. I mean, we are totally blessed, and we are pinching ourselves every day that we are in this position to capitalize on this. So, you know, when you look at all of the devices that are hitting our marketing company, iHub Global, this is their Facebook page. When they got a bunch of these here at the beginning of September, that's thousands of devices sitting right there. And, you know, they ship them out, they get more in, they ship them out. That's the life they are going to have now for the next 2 years. This is just going to be crazy. And they announced that they were buying 300,000 hotspots last month. I can't say that tomorrow. It's not going to be September anymore. But they just announced 2 weeks ago that they tripled that order. So it's not 300,000. It's a million. What doesn't even matter though, because look at this. If there's 200,000, if there's 500,000, and we're adding 300,000, you know, whether it's a million, half a million, whatever. The point, the key question for you is this: how many of those new hotspots do you want to get paid on? Now, I said I only need like 50,000 of them, and y'all can split the rest. You know, whatever that number is. When Henry and I first looked at this, we thought, wow, if we get paid on 1,000 of these devices, that would be incredible. And a month later, we had 1,000 affiliates plugged in here. And we said, okay, what if we get paid on 10,000 of them? And would you believe it was just 2 months ago, we had 10,000 people plugged in here as affiliates. And then we said, okay, how about 5 times that? Well, we just showed you Henry blasted past 60,000 last week. He's going to hit 100,000 of these hotspots by the end of the year. I just can't even believe it. So, you know, we talk about these numbers and you say, what in the world? But here is proof right here. This was a company conference webcast, and this was on July 1. We were a little under 30,000 hotspots, and our CEO, Rick Cotton, predicted on that call, he said, we think we're going to hit 100,000 affiliates by September 1st. So would you believe we actually hit that on August 1st? And then it took 2 more weeks. We hit another 100,000, and we've been adding 100,000 affiliates a week since then. We're up close to 1 million affiliates already here at the end of September. So we're growing like crazy, and we're going to show you how you can get a big piece of the world's largest wireless network, which 95% of people never heard of. But I got to tell you, this is a lot more like buying real estate than buying cryptocurrency or computer tech to go do mining or network marketing, because this is a race to get devices in place before these spots are taken. Once they're taken, that's it. Just like buying a house, you know, when that property is sold, you can't go and buy it again. So that's why we are definitely moving as fast as we can to get these hotspots in place. There's a window of maybe 2 or 3 years maximum if you want to get serious market share here. So that means you better be ready to hop on your horse and ride fast. So we're going to show you how to get paid on a huge number of these devices without having to buy them all yourself, which is kind of a nice thing. So how much money can you make? Well, if you get a free iHub hotspot, you can earn 15% of that hotspot production for the first 90 days. That's what the company is offering you by giving you the box for free. Basically, you do have that, again, shipping and activation, but first 90 days, 15%. If you're not sure what the average hotspot produces, well, let me tell you, it's about 20 Helium coin a month right there. And if you got 20 of those coins at $20 a coin, you know, that's just, again, an average. What we're looking at right there could be higher, could be lower, but that would be about $400 a month. If you got 15% of that, that would be $60 a month right there from a free device. Basically, Helium said, hey, we're going to cover your internet cost, right? I mean, what's the average internet bill out there? It's about 50, 60 bucks a month, right? So they will cover that in the first 90 days every month if you get a hotspot. Well, you want to make a little bit more than that? How about 10% more? All you have to do to get 25% after 90 days on your free hotspot is take a little action. Go get 5 other people to commit to deploying a hotspot. That's all you got to do. And so now all of a sudden, same math on the average box production, 20 Helium coin, $20 a month, but instead of 15%, you get 25%, which is going to pay you $100 a month instead of 60 right there. That'd be $1,200 a year. Not bad pay for a free box that was shipped out to you, and really is, you know, very easy to set up. So this was the Helium Facebook page a year ago, almost to the day. They had right on here, host a Helium hotspot. And Andrew, my buddy, found this post right there on their Facebook page from September of 2020. Get paid $35 a month to host a hotspot in your home. Yes, we're serious. $35 a month. Actually makes me laugh because you know, that's about $400 a year, flat rate. Didn't matter if the box produced way more than that. That's what they were paying you. All of a sudden, our 25% looks a lot better than that $35 flat rate, right? Just to recap, comparing the two there. If you're getting $1,200 a year compared to that, it's almost triple what they're offering to pay you. And again, that's an average, and there's no guarantees on what your average will be or your actual production will be. But we can show you the production of many devices out there. Actually, you can go look at every single device that's out there on the network, just like I'm showing you right here. This guy right here in Springdale, Arkansas. What's the population of Springdale? Is it like, what, 5 million? 500,000? No, it's 81,000. It's a small town in Arkansas, not very populated. Look at that. He cranked 557 helium coin in a 30-day period. If he made $20 on that coin, if he just left it in there and sold it at $20, he would have pocketed, well, he wouldn't have got that. The total production from the box is 11,000. If he was the host getting 25%, he would have made about $2,800. Not bad if you do that, if you average that over 12 months from a free device. Here's another one. This is actually in LA. Now, there is a huge population there, obviously, but this is our friend Johnny Bolton, who told us about the hotspot. He's the one that I was actually on the phone with when I heard about this. And you could see it was his second full month with the hotspot, and he cranked almost 400 helium coin right there. He got almost 15 in a day right there. But again, do the math on that. If he sold his helium token that was produced by that $7,500, you got 25% of that. That's almost $2,000 over 12 months. Again, you can see that. Again, no guarantees on what you're going to earn. There's wild variations in what these machines can produce, and what you are willing to do to maximize your earnings from that. This is a device just south of me, 15 minutes here in Houston, population 7 million, and you can see there are 145 that they produced in a month period over at $20 a coin. That's $2,900. I look at that and I say, hey, $700 a month. There's a lot of people that would really benefit from an extra $700 a month, or even, a few thousand a year, let alone 8,000 a year. So that gives you a little idea of what an individual can make from their hotspot. Now, how about if I build a network of hotspot owners? How much can I make? There are two commissions on the people you personally refer, personal enrollments, and then the people that they refer. That's the two commissions. So when those hotspots are purchased or they are acquired and then installed and maintained by other people, you can literally earn 5% to 35% of those hotspots production. Yes, that's right. 5% minimum, 35% maximum. It's pretty incredible. And on the first commission of the two, you're either getting 10% or 20% on anyone you personally enroll. Yes, you read that right, 10 or 20. What dictates that? If they got the 15% that I told you about a minute ago, then you get 10. If they increase that to 25%, then you get 20%. If you look at that and you're paying attention, if they got 25% and you got 20, that's 45%. Where's the other 55 going? Well, that's going to be paid to people above you. We're getting paid on several different levels, but also the company's got to keep a little bit to be profitable right there. Okay, so that's really how this rolls out. And you already may have figured out 35%, there's 20 of it, and there's the other 15. You either, on anyone in your organization underneath the people you refer, you're either going to get 5, 10, or 15% on those affiliates underneath the affiliates that you personally referred. It's that simple. There's really not much more to it than that. Now, we're going to walk you through what that would mean in potential income from just the affiliates that you refer on your first level. And by the way, you can go get as many affiliates as you want. Now, I got a little football field right here. It is football season, so bear with me with my neon green football field. But we're going to talk about the affiliates you personally enroll. That would be your level 1, your first level, or L1 right there. And I'm just repeating what you saw on the previous screen. And let's say you bring on 5 people right there just to start. That would be what we call your pro team or your promotional team, right? And you get a little check match on whatever those 5 people do. And that can actually be some serious income. But then you go and get more than 5 people. You go get a 6th person or a 7th or a 15. You go get 15 people. That would be what we call your bronze team or your bronze house. And you get an additional 5%. So you get 10 or 20 on all of these 10 people right here. You get that on these 5, 10 or 20. If they go get their 5, then you get 20%. And you also get a little check match. But then you can get 5% added on to the 10 or 20. So on all these people right here, these 10, positions 6 through 15, you're either getting 15% or 25% with that extra 5%. And then if you go get more than 15 people, 16 through 25, those 10 right there are in your silver house or your silver team, and that pays an extra 10%. I mean, you've already seen these numbers, right? 5, 10, 15. You can see we're doing the Olympics here, bronze, silver, and gold. But add 10 onto that, that would be 20% minimum or 30% of all these hotspots production right there. And then anything beyond your 25th person, 26 to 35 to 50 to 100, I don't have any more room on the screen. Sorry, that's where we stopped. But that would be your gold team right there. And that's 15% on top of the 10 or 20. That's a lot, 25% to 35% on any one that you bring in on their hotspot production beyond your 26th person. There is no limit on how many people you can bring on. We've actually had many people bring on way more than 100 people. I mean, it's numerous numbers. We've had dozens of people do that. So guess what? You can too. It's up to you. After 90 days, though, you should be earning that 20% on all your personal affiliates, hotspots production. If you don't, okay, then you have to settle for 10 plus 5 or 10 or 15. But you can see what is going on here. With just one level, let's add some numbers to this. Pretty incredible. That's our same green football field. I just haven't taken the time to turn it green yet, like the river in Chicago. I'm not going to, but there you go. There's the pro team right there. Your first 5 positions. There's your little promotional house, little gingerbread action there. Now, let's say you're getting only 10%. You're not going to get the other 10. Let's just say you're getting the 10 right there. So we cross that second 10 out. We're only going to use 10%. Let's say that you got your 5 people in your pro team, and they each have a box that produces 20 helium coin. Well, that would be 5 times 20. That'd be 100 coin. At 10%, what you're going to get on them, on those 5, we're just talking about your first level here. We're not talking about anybody else. Well, that would be 10 helium token right there that you earned on those 5 boxes. Now, let's say you go get another 10. That's 15, right? 5 here, and then 10 in your bronze house. You're getting the 10. We're not even going to count that other 10 right there. We're just going to say that no one goes and gets 5. 10 and 5, that'd be 15%. And you have 10 people instead of 5 that you got over here. If you maxed out the bronze, you got 20 helium coin coming in there. That'd be 200 coin from 10 people getting 20 per box. So 200 times 15%, that'd be 30 helium coin. And then into the silver box, same thing. We're saying you get 10 people there. You max that out, 10 and 10, that's 20%. Same thing, 10 boxes producing 20 each. That'd be 200 helium coin times 20%, that's 40 coin. And then everybody after that, so we're just putting 10 people in your gold house. So you got 5, 10, 10, and 10, 35 people. And that would be at 25%. Again, not the 35, we're using 25%. That would be, again, 20 helium coin times 25%. That'd be 50 helium token. Now we're going to add up all 4 of these numbers right there. And check this out, 10, 30, 40, and 50. That's 130 helium network token per month right there. I look at that every time. I'm like, this is too easy. At $20 a coin, that would be your pay on bringing on 35 people right there. And so 2,600, Henry, from one level. And the question is, can you find 35 people that want to earn extra money from a free box? And that, now this is where Henry comes in here, and he shares some amazing numbers with you.
I didn't know you were doing this. It's kind of funny. Well, anyways, folks,
yeah.
As John just stated on the front line, if you deploy boxes, right? I have a frontline person, and he got involved the same exact day that John did. Okay, and he has another monstrous group just like John. So the reality is, iHub is actually deploying the boxes currently right now. And just this last month, the first month of earnings, he earned 130 HNT. Actually, it was 133. That amount went up today, John, a little bit more. So think about it, 133 HNT. That's like $2,600, $2,660 if you want to be exact. If you're using a $20 a token model, so it's the real. I mean, it's a real payout. And think about this. He has thousands and thousands of people in his group. It's just a matter of time that 130 turns to 1,300 and then 13,000.
Yeah, and he doesn't have thousands of boxes out there. He just got a handful of boxes out there, and he's already at that 130 level. And that's the point. I mean, I've been showing this number for like, what, a month to everybody every night, 130 helium coin. And there it is right there in reality. Obviously, all these other people haven't gotten a box yet, and that's why they don't have any H&T showing. But there you go. I mean, it's just incredible that the numbers lined up just like that. How exciting. So awesome job by you and Stefan.
And one other thing, John's going to continue to go on this. He's going to talk about a pro code. Your first 5 people, and we're not going to dive into this a lot, you're going to get a check match for them, okay? And on that gentleman right there, I earn 20% of everything that he earns right now on a check match because he is in my first 5 people, okay?
Right here.
So 20% of 130, you're talking about what, 26, roughly 26 HNT from last month. That's an incredible override. Go ahead, John.
Really is. So yeah, now let's talk about what happens instead of 35. Let's say you go find 100 people that want to get a free box and make some money, right? Well, where would those other 65 people going, right? Remember, we got 35, we got 5, 10, 10, 10. Well, we can't put any more in the pro team. We max that out. Can't put them in the bronze team, max that out. Can't put them in the silver. They have to go over here in the gold mansion, right, where you're getting at least 25% and maybe 35% on everything. So we added all that up. We went from 35 to 100. We tripled it basically. And look what happened here to the math. You know, I'm not going to go through all that math with you, but instead of 50 H&T, it's now 375 in your gold house. Boom, 455, getting 20 helium coin per. There you go. That's $9,000 a month from one level. That would be a 6-figure income if you maintain that over a year, obviously. So that's where that $100,000 a year came from. If you go tell 100 friends about this and they get a box and put that in there. Now, this is just showing you what you can get paid on your organization. I'm not going to spend any more time on this just because we have to wrap this up here in just a couple minutes. But remember the 5, 10, or the 15%? I'm just using 5%. And I'm just saying if you had 1,000 hotspots that you were earning 5% on times 20 helium token, 20,000 helium coin times 5%, that'd be 1,000 H&T a month instead of that 130, which by the way, he's going to exceed way past 1,000 H&T. And he's already at 130 and he hardly has any machines out there compared to all the affiliates that he's got. Just incredible. So at 20 helium token per month, I'm sorry, $20 per helium token on 1,000 helium token a month, that's 20,000 a month right there. And even if we're overshooting by half, if we yank half of that and say you only get $10,000 a month on 1,000 boxes, it's still incredible. Like if let's say you sold at $10 per helium token right there, or let's say that you only got an average of 10 helium coin per month. I mean, we can chop this up all day. You can make that 15 and that 15, you make that 10, whatever. I'm just throwing the numbers out there so you can see there's a lot of money here on a free device, especially when you go build a big network. And look at this. If you include your first level of 35 people, not even going to get more than 35, that's $12,000 a month right there from the 1,000 hotspots. And really, it should be a lot more than that. But that there you go. That's a little bit of income that you may or may not be able to get to. But the door is wide open for you to go dictate your income from what you can earn right here. Now, Helium just turned 2 last month. This is the last day I can say that. August 2019 to August of 2021. That's when the network launched back in Austin, Texas, just 2 hours west of me. But you can see here some of these magazine articles that I mentioned. They're all on helium.com. I encourage you to go read them. If you do, by the way, don't read them at night. You're not going to be able to sleep. But here are the co-founders of helium.com. Again, that's not our company. We're working with iHub Global, which is a marketing company contracted with Helium to promote their business. But here's Amir Halim, the world's #1 gamer from years ago. He actually designed this game, Battlefield 1942, which was 2002 Game of the Year, right there on the screen. It's kind of funny. But he founded the Global Gaming League and another gaming company, Diversion. They're the ones that made this thing right there. So he's done some amazing things. And he is the CEO and co-founder of Helium. And one of his smartest moves was meeting this guy right here, Sean Fanning. You may or may not know that name, but you definitely know this name, Napster. That's what he created that landed him on the cover of Time magazine back in 2000 when he was 19 years old, just in college. But needless to say, his file sharing, music sharing service that got shot down in court, but then was redesigned to be a streaming service. That Napster invention led to all these other companies like Spotify and iTunes and iHeartRadio and Pandora and blah, blah, blah. You know the whole story. So we don't have to spend time on that. We think Helium will be way bigger than his Napster invention, but this is just getting going. And, you know, like I said, no one even knows about it yet. They started this thing back in 2013. Took them 6 years of programming and formulating and raising money to get this thing in place. By the way, Sean today has his own venture capital company, and he's done some amazing things over the last 20 years. But this thing launched in 2019, as we mentioned, with the backing of some amazing VC firms. You might recognize a lot of these companies up here. If not, I'll help you out. What else did these companies help fund? You know, what were they right about? Well, they're wrong about a lot of companies, but they've been right so many times that they have made crazy money. How about Facebook? Anybody heard of that? Twitter, Uber, Groupon, DoorDash? I mean, it's just one home run after another up here. And now all these companies have money behind Helium. So there you go. Look, even Mark Andreessen, who helped start the WWW, the World Wide Web, and he invented Netscape, that browser, one of the first browsers out there. They put $100 million behind Helium. And, you know, my question to you is, what do they know that we don't? You know, would reputable, super successful venture capital firms invest huge amounts of money into a fake or illegitimate company? And the answer is obviously no. That story ran everywhere, by the way. It's pretty incredible. Here are some of the companies paying Helium to use their network right now. Hundreds of companies and thousands of developers already building on this network with thousands of existing solutions, sensors, devices, gateways running on LongFi. If you don't know what that is, I'm just going to touch on it for 10 seconds here. That is not Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is your house, right? Or a store. It's a very small footprint, but LongFi can reach miles. In fact, 200 times farther than Wi-Fi. And again, that's all on helium.com if you want to read about it. I'm not going to get into all the weeds and the science of how this works, but I did want you to know that. Now, this right here is just a quick look at some, maybe a dozen of the companies that are paying Helium to use their network. And here's another one. Anybody heard of that company? Right there, obviously Microsoft. This just was announced this week. Brand new info. And again, I'm not going to go through all this, but you can see it on Helium's blog. Go to helium.com, go to the bottom. You'll see the blog there. Click on that, and you can read this whole story. And Microsoft's cloud service, which runs like 1 billion devices on the IoT already, they are now running on Helium. Incredible. I can't even believe it. So quick list of some of the devices that can use the Helium network. I mean, you look at this list and it's like, well, duh, of course, these are machines talking to machines. That's the Internet of Things, which already dwarfs the number of cell phones out there. I mean, you think about it, right now they're saying that there are 30 billion devices in place this year, and they're saying it's going to double in the next 4 or 5 years and then double again. Well, guess what? In the last 5 years, it already doubled twice. So, and that's not our numbers. This is coming from these sites that have nothing to do with us. But this is machines talking to machines. And really, what does that mean? That means they're removing humans from the equation, which means increased efficiency and a better quality of life for us. That's what all of this stuff means here. So I hope that makes sense to you. You can go Google Internet of Things and see tons more info. But we don't have to go get companies to use our hotspot. This is an ad that Henry found on Facebook, and you can see it right here. The Helium's advertising to companies to track your assets on the Helium network. That's what they're saying. And check this out. If this isn't amazing enough, yes, it's true. I had to go see it with my own eyes. LoneStarTracking.com, right on their website, is bragging that they are paying Helium for their data transmission for all their trackers. Pretty incredible. So Helium goes and gets the companies, and then we just put the hotspots out there. We being you, me, all of us, putting a hotspot out there that Helium can then use. And here it is, Helium lined up against the big three telcos, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile. Again, you can go read all that on helium.com. It's pretty amazing. This is our company right here, iHub, is doing network marketing or direct sales to tell people about the Helium network. That's what we're doing, and we're contracted with them. And you can see all this in detail by going to the website of the person that invited you, their username .ihub.global. Yes, that's the website. It's not .com, it's .global, ihub.global. And when you get there, click on the Join Now button and join now, because every day we're adding 5,000 people, maybe even more than that. And surely more than that if we're adding 100,000 a week. You can do the math. But when you click that, they don't even ask you for a charge card. It's name, email, and phone number, and boom, you're in. And then you can reserve a hotspot and get off to the races. This is our CEO right here, Rick Cotton. He founded and ran a company that went to $500 million in revenue before, so he knows what he's doing. This is Chuck Hansen, who actually had the idea to go to Helium and say, hey, we need to help you build out this network. And they said, sounds great, let's do that. He did that a year ago this month. And Chuck is in his 5th decade of direct sales. He actually heard about Helium from this guy right here, Mike Stern. So there's just a few of our corporate officers. It's growing like crazy. They've brought on a CIO and a CFO and on and on. But they bought the software company just 3 months ago to help us place our hotspots effectively. And I don't have time to go into all of this, but it does a ton of work for us. It'll tell you all the hotspots around you and how much they're making. It's all public info. So you won't be able to lie to anybody about how much your hotspot is earning on the web. This is just a reminder, you can have this little app on your phone and track all of your earnings and all the other people that get hotspots because of you. You can see all of that right online. This is OG Pay. They're going to announce this at the official launch of iHub Global in Las Vegas on November 6th, and you'll hear more about that tonight. FDIC insured, real-time foreign exchange on 53 currencies. They literally pay in 122 different countries and 0 fees, which is incredible. But that's they run through Metropolitan Bank out of Manhattan. I confirmed that with my own eyeballs, and they're going to announce this. This will be a Visa debit card that you can move your Helium coin into dollars, or you can pay bills off of it, or whatever you want to do. You can let it sit there and appreciate. So, all right, I'm done. Henry, I've given you like 5 minutes to go through your amazing story and your conversion from not being involved with crypto to being massively involved right here. So Henry Vigeant up in New Hampshire, it's all yours.
When I was first introduced to cryptocurrency in 2012, I thought it was a gimmick or a fad. But I started hearing more and more about it over the next 4 or 5 years. But in 2016, I remember a few people asked me about it, and they were talking about trading companies. And I was just trying to get information, but nobody could teach me. And that made me scared. When something was just so radical and nobody could teach me, I just held off at that point in time until 2019. And I saw this article. JP Morgan was taking people's investment money and purchasing in Bitcoin because they thought it was a viable option. Now, these people are the think tanks of think tanks when it comes to financial institutions. So I just really opened my eyes at that point in time. I'm like, I really need to get on board with this. I don't want to miss this trend. And numerous articles have come out since then. Here's another article talking about cryptocurrency and investments, right? And how they trust Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency derivatives. Now, but the thing about it is, that's great articles, and I'm going to get to this football player in just a second. I want to talk about reality. When you see like Bitcoin ATM machines out there, which they do, but by the way, there's a country that just put out 2,000 of them and is using that as their currency. But how about Cash App, the Pay Cash App app, and they have PayPal and Venmo. These apps are connected directly to banking. All right, that means they have to go through stringent investigations just to get that app attached to a bank, right? So they all have one thing in common. They all host and sell cryptocurrency. And some of them actually giving loans on cryptocurrency now. Pretty awesome stuff. So it's become mainstream. Look at this. Barkley, $10 million bonus in cryptocurrency. Number one draft pick, Trevor Lawrence, $24 million in cryptocurrency. You're going to see more and more celebrities get this stuff. Matter of fact, Elon Musk, I'm sure most of you heard this, $1.5 billion purchased in cryptocurrency. Okay. And he's a big proponent of that token of Dogecoin, and he's been on Saturday Night Live with it. And I know that the guy from Shark Tank, he put 3% of his total financial portfolio into cryptocurrency. But what he said, what really sparked my mind, was he says, but I'm not going to do that trading stuff. I want to go directly to the source and go into the miners. And that's when I had that aha moment last year. Last year, I decided to go full throttle at cryptocurrency. And again, iHub Global is not a crypto company. It's just a way to obtain crypto, all right? I just want to make sure we're very clear about that. So last year, I put all my expendable income into cryptocurrency because of COVID. I got scared and I wanted to protect my family. So come November, I remember I had a nice chunk I put into the Ethereum market and went up 40 times my money. I was like, at that point, I'm like, this is it. This is going to change my life. And it has. And so I decided to go into the crypto mining, basically where you have a machine and it's going to mine cryptocurrency for you like a brick and mortar. It was going to cost me like upwards of $400,000. I already had the installation. I had the solar panels already set. I just needed boxes and all the hardware, which was another $250,000. So I was talking to John about this last year. And so he heard my business plan. He goes, that's great. Tell me how it goes. So John came up to me and he goes, in April of this year, he goes, hey, you were talking about miners? Check this out. And he showed me helium.com. And that's the story. So that was kind of like what happened. And then all of a sudden I started looking around. Somebody else sent us an email about how to get these boxes for free. And I'm like, John, there's a marketing company that allows you to get these things cheaper. Do you have a referral deal? And John goes, no. You're mistaken, Henry. I'm like, let's just check it out. So here we are today, 4.5 months later, and we have a team of over 63,000 people. I think, I hope that slide says that, John. I don't have my glasses on. I can't see at all. We have 63,000 now. Anyways.
Yeah, this is last week,
It's been an amazing
Henry.
ride, and I'm very humble. We have an amazing, yeah, time flies. And the thing about it is each and every one of you means so much to me, right? And your efforts and so that's why I give everything to everybody, because it matters to me. It matters to me that we can teach people how to plug in a box and get paid on crypto. It matters to me that an average person can take care of one of their bills just by plugging in a box. That matters to me. And what really matters to me is how many people we can get financial freedom to during these crazy COVID times. And I know I'm using this as, I'm not trying to, make a doom and gloom thing, but it's been kind of crazy for a year and a half. We need to be able to take care of ourselves. And what better way than trying to solicit somebody for $100 a month or $500 packages and all these other stuff? We could get enrolled right up front for zero cost. Zero cost. You go to your friend's username and then iHub.global. You plug in. It takes seconds, literally like 30 seconds to get yourself a full website that you don't have to pay for. All right. No monthly fee. No monthly website fee, no auto ship. And you can plug in, you get a software, there's a bunch of video tutorials. Not only do you have corporate support and all this stuff, but you have people like John Cini that's going to help you each day, and all the other leaders on our team. And so you have team support, you have company support, you have all these tools necessary, as John talked about during this awesome presentation, and you have a gateway to earn yourself Helium tokens for a very low cost. So I always look at it as a risk to reward ratio. What's the risk? Virtually none. What's the reward? Very high. So why not go for it?